Hello everyone, welcome to a game one, or actually, welcome to a game that I recently played from the most recent patch here on Battle.net. Here I am spawning as the red Terran player against my opponent Benkin, who is spawning as the blue Protoss player. Blue Protoss already sending off a very early probe scout, so a very early probe scout coming across the map now, and gotta be for some sort of cheese, so we'll see what exactly his strategy is going to be. I already know, obviously. Coming back over here, I was trying to not always open up with Reapers. I'm trying out some new strategies, so I was going to open up with a more economic build, try to open up with a 10 supply depot. So move out with this SCV, and I catch sight of that probe, and as soon as I catch sight of that probe, I realize that he's going to be trying to do some sort of cheese in my base. So in comes Benkin. Benkin now going to drop a pylon in my base. So there's this little perfect position right there where SCVs are going to have a difficult time trying to get anything. And for some reason, Benkin not dropping that pylon. Finally dropping that pylon there. And that is a little bit delayed. SCV and Probe now duking it out. Probe quickly pulling away at once all of its shields are gone. So as I try to bring in more SCVs to try to chase down this one particular unit, if I can keep track of that probe, then I know that that probe is not dropping any sort of gateways or any sort of cannons in my base. However, I did see that that probe was already there. Now the probe gonna drop a pylon here. Oh, it was attempting to drop a pylon there. Now it looks like as though it's gonna drop some gateways over here. And I thought I saw that thought I saw that probe, so I'm now gonna move over all of my SCVs. Now, normally I do not suggest this. I really wanted to get that probe, and now that there's two gateways in my base, I feel pretty much naked at exactly what I need to do. That pylon and those gateways now warping in. Probe now coming around as well. SCV is just trying to deal as much damage as possible. That down goes that I was able to take down that probe, so that probe has been taken down. And now there's two pylons in this base that I really need to take care of. I really need to make sure that this pylon is no longer going to be operational, or I can take down these pylons so that these gateways are not operational. Back in the case of Benkin, Benkin really has nothing. He's trying to save up as many minerals as he can and trying to chrono boost some of these gateways. However, he's going to lose one of these gateways, and now that second gateway going to get taken down as well. So one gateway down to about 500 hit points. Very nice position. Only 3 SCVs at the same time are able to take down this one particular pylon. So now moving over to attempting to take down this pylon. Only 4 SCVs, excuse me. And now 1 Marine coming out, just duking it out. Units just trying to come in. And now there's 1 Zealot. However, that Zealot is stuck in the back over there. So that Zealot will not be able to come out, quickly getting surrounded by SCVs. And this 1 Marine able to get another final shot in. Gateway now unpowered, and now Benkin sitting at 11 over 18 food with supply locked momentarily, now being forced to build within his own base now that the cheese has failed. Chrono boosting his own buildings. Not sure what exactly he should try to be doing at this point. Perhaps getting another gateway. He's sitting on 400 minerals. Not much he can really do. Also getting the cybernetics core. The cybernetics core able to be built as this gateway is still up and running over here. You do not need the gateway to be powered in order to build that cybernetics core. So he's able to get that cybernetics core and that gateway out. Also chrono boosting, just trying to get as many probes as possible, just trying to saturate that mineral line. Me on the other hand, I'm able to have a fairly strong economy, now upgrading to an orbital command center. So that orbital command center able to call down mules as I'm now training up Reapers. As I was thinking, he will not be able to get that many stalkers or that many zealots off early in the game, and if he's really delayed in getting that stalker out, perhaps I'll be able to push on in and destroy it. So gateway finally getting taken down. So 2 Marines now have taken down this gateway over here, and the total losses already is 450 resources lost compared to my 100, which or 3 units, which was probably 3 SCVs. A factory now being put down by me in order to just get higher up on that tech tree. Now, I was considering whether or not I wanted to train up a second Reaper, and I realized that the Reaper here is more of a harassment unit as opposed to a base destruction unit at this stage. What I want to do with this Reaper is scout out his base, figure out exactly what he's trying to do, what he's trying to build, and counter what he's trying to build. So the Reaper will be able to get into this base and will be able to catch sight. Now we have double robotics facilities coming in from Benkin. So Benkin using 2 robotics, or getting a robotics facility, and I realized that robotics facility with only a single gateway most likely means that it is going to be immortals. moving around with this Reaper. The Reaper just doing a little bit of that whole run or move and attack ability, just trying to shoot down some of those probes. Reaper, however, getting shot a little bit, so that the Reaper looks as though the movement speed not quite as fast as I thought. So the probes are able to keep up that speed and able to get in a couple quick shots. However, another Reaper going to be coming into this base and just doing as much harassment as possible. Army-wise, he has no real army. He finally gets out an Immortal, and that Immortal able to get off one shot. And as soon as I realized that that Immortal is in play, I realized that he has 2 robotics facilities. I don't think I was able to spot it earlier. It's right here. So now that I know that he has 2 robotics facilities, I want to be able to either go Banshees or Ghost. And in this particular instance, I'm going for Banshees, as the Banshees are such a strong unit against those Immortals, able to fire as many rockets as they want without really getting shot down, also getting up an additional barracks with a reactor core eventually in order to be able to push on out. I have a couple Hellions now moving out. Just want to keep this pressure on him, make sure that he really never gathers his momentum. If I can keep him always on the ropes, then I will be able to push in and just perhaps stop his mining and his harvesting. I'm sitting on 23 harvesters, he's sitting on 19, as these Hellions now running on in, just trying to start torching some of these units. So those probes at first were considering trying to take down these units, but really not going to work here. Trying to torch as many units, continue to just deal this damage, make sure that these probes are not able to mine. You can see that his gold and his minerals per minute is being affected here as these Hellions once again moving back over here. I'm going to go ahead and try another round of attack, just trying to move in with these Hellions again. Perhaps I can delay this. If I can just delay his mining, perhaps get even 1 probe kill. But however, now that he has 3 Immortals, he will be able to push off this harassment fairly easily. His production, however, is pretty much non-existent. While I'm researching Cloaking Field, building a Banshee, building barracks, building reactors, just trying to get up as many units as possible. He's now just trying to mass Immortals, thinking that mass Immortals will be able to take me on. He does not know that I am now getting Banshees. I currently have 1 Banshee in play, a second one already on the way. So that is that second one being built. I just need to start building up some additional barracks as well. So Marines, Hellions, and a Banshee now moving off to this lower ground. And I believe I should try to do some sort of expansion in a little bit, as I'm getting fairly close to saturating my main base. Still training up more Hellions. The tech lab was there just in case. He did a quick change to Stalkers, and I would need siege tech, so I would be able to train up some siege tanks as well. So now triple barracks, 1 of them with the reactor core, another one with the reactor core, and now a tech lab as well. Also dropping down an engineering bay. So Marines and Hellions. Marines, Hellions, and Reapers with a single Banshee against this army of 5 Immortals. This is probably the worst thing that Benkin could try to attack with, as those Immortals essentially deal little to no damage against all of these units. So these Marines are able to just stim and just push on in and able to just deplete these shields very easily. 1 Banshee in the air, just continuing to just destroy those Immortals. And now, the second Banshee joined in on this fight. Marines taking their fair share of damage. However, even though my army is smaller, because I have 2 Banshees, that Immortal just is going to take so much damage. A single siege tank as well, taking 3 shots from that Immortal, but the siege tank able to survive, only taking 2 shots from that Immortal, as those Banshees are ready to finish it off. Back over here, we have the weapons upgrade by Benkin, and now Benkin, realizing that he needs more Stalkers, going to start training up or putting down some additional gateways and getting a photon cannon as well. So I see a single Stalker trying to fight back here, but not going to really work. I cloak and decloak, and as I once again move on out to this north position, I want to be able to cloak up here and try to take down some of those probes, hoping that he does not build any cannons or build an observer. So gonna have 2 Banshees now move on out to this north hand side. Stay tuned for part 2 of this replay between me and Benkin here on Blistering Sands.